game.
All right.
I know, I saw that.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. January 27th, 2025, 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call?
Yes, you can. Mike Sterling,
Here.
Kurt Thompson,
Here.
Aaron McKnight,
Present.
Rebecca Carlson,
Here.
Larry.
Here.
Larry D. Smith.
Larry D. Smith, president and/or accounted for.
I'm just kind of forgetting everybody's name.
Megan Hastings here.
Hastings and then Evelyn Meeks. Here. I'm sorry. I panic when I can't.
sorry.
When roll call come in and I try to get everybody's name perfect and then I forget. My brain is operating on 100 and I forget
You got a
people's
tool
names.
for that. It's perfect.
So
Yes.
I apologize to everyone.
My fault.
You're all good.
Jason.
We still have to finish roll call. Chris
Got it. Say your name.
Chris Arduino. Chris Arduino, recording secretary.
Sorry, Yarborough Superintendent.
Shelley Wagner, Human Resources.
Michelle, curriculum and instruction.
Communications, community relations.
Josh Ryan, business and operations.
Now it's my turn.
Yes, it is.
All right, it is my pleasure this evening to welcome some of our students from Maple Elementary, led by their principal and teachers, and let them come on out Got some serious hardware. Well,
You won it.
So good evening, Dr. Yarbrough and members of the board. Thank you for this honor of representing Maple students tonight. As you know from many years of doing this, that we consider this a very big deal at Maple, and as a result, I'm very selective in who I invite to join me here. It's not just a, names in a hat or a random thing. They do have to earn the opportunity to come here. So it's reserved for our top students and families, and so as part of PBIS, we have very high expectations for hallway behavior. Classes work hard to get this trophy, and they get to carry it for the month, and then they earn various rewards. For example, Ms. Core's class has won the most in the school, and they've earned popcorn, slushies, pancakes in the teacher's lounge. And then what are we gonna get when we get our 6th month, you guys?
Ice cream.
Ice cream sundaes. So Mrs. Core's class actually can't be beat. There is a spy in the school from another class that goes down to see how many Mustangs they have on the wall to try to beat them, but they still have been unsuccessful. So they have won more than any other class. They are kind, respectful, quiet, and always positive. Mrs. Core loves them, and so do I. They are just one of our best classes ever. So all of this is possible, though, of course, in turn due to Mrs. Core. Her class wins every year. No one can really beat her. Maple's pretty competitive. We thought that we would have our first graders come tonight. I did, for the first time ever, invite the whole entire class. And we had the flu hit Maple before Christmas break, and now Ms. Core had 9 kids go home today sick. So we had a lot more kids invited, but these guys are confident. So if everyone would stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the warning to stand back.
Here's the flag. Right hand. Face this way, Christina. I
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I promise to take responsibility for my learning and my behavior. I will be caring, honest, and respectful. Maple School is a better place because I'm here today.
Yes, it is.
I'd like to have the board come around, students, I'm gonna have to slide this one just a little bit. Slide this way a little bit.
Raylan, Conrad, this way, sweetie.
And I'm gonna take a picture. and I'll get all the way to the-
School District.
Face this way now. Face Mr. Bliss.
I'll be one quick and I'll get all the way.
Good job, guys. Smile.
All right, where's that trophy? Hold that up.
Yeah, hold that up.
Here we go, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll move out of the way for a second.
We got one. There you go. Oh, no, there we go. Great job.
Great job.
Yes. Yeah, any place they go in the building.
Yeah.
It should say at the end of the month. Yes.
Move spot for one session, I get it.
I don't know, I have a feeling maybe.
She said they carry
Thank you very much for their note, by the way.
Hey,
I really appreciate it. It meant a lot. It meant a lot.
I still got all my trophies when I was coaching at HCC.
now, do they get to eat ice cream out of it?
That would be amazing.
Right? Individually.
We gotta wash it.
Sorry.
All right, moving on, can I get a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. McKnight.
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson.
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty.
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks, aye.
All right. Well, I would gotta say that was an awesome display of our Pledge of Allegiance by our Maple students. Who definitely, in my opinion, exemplify the mission of the Harlem Consolidated School District as a vital part of the community is to help diverse learners realize their limited potential by providing an educational program dedicated to academic excellence and the development of strong character and a safe and respectful learning environment. And because that class can't be beat, that's who they are.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion and a second for approval of the board meeting minutes, January 13th, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Jason Blue?
All right. Well, good evening again. It is my privilege tonight to introduce a few teachers to you. Want to come up and stand next to me? We did rehearse and talk about it. So, as you remember from our last meeting, we had an opportunity to hear from one of our staff members that had put in a weather program, had received some equipment. They had also received a Golden Apple grant for their projects and efforts, and so that kind of sparked us to invite some of our other Golden Apple grant recipients as a way to highlight some of the cool things that are happening in our schools, but also to give thanks to the Golden Apple Foundation and the sponsors that support these grants. And so we actually, this year, I think probably the most that we've had, received over $17,000 in grants from the Golden Apple Foundation. And I'm going to read through the individuals that are not here, but we do have a few people this evening that are here to talk about what they applied for, what they received, what they're doing with that, just to kind of give you a little glimpse into our classrooms and some of the cool things happening. And so I'm just going to go down the order here. I've got Christine Franklin from Olson Park here. Why don't you tell a little bit about your project?
We go to the Challenger Learning Center every year and are able to, we went to Mars the last couple years, and one of the activities that we do is in a STEM lab. The kids use their little they're about this big. They just came, I just took them out of the box this weekend just to see what they looked like. And they are little robots. And the kids then learn how to code a couple different ways. They code with color first, and that's what we're going to start tomorrow. And so I'm going to come back.
Okay.
And they they learn how to they twirl around and they change colors and they backwards and forwards and do all the things. I have a soccer mat that I bought. See if they can make them play soccer. I don't know. Shoot for the stars and at least land somewhere far away. And then they go into using Blockly to code for the little robots. One of the videos that I saw online was this third grade teacher used them her class mapped out the Oregon Trail, and then they put little stands on them, like little Conestoga wagons and little buffalo and stuff, and they had this whole engaging experience. So my fifth graders are 10 turning 11, heading for middle school. Engaging is what we're looking for. So.
Here.
Yep, and so they received just over $2,400 from Collins Aerospace as part of the grant, and so we're excited to see the robots, and obviously coding is an awesome experience for the kids. All right, next up, I've got Mindy and Erin. They're from Rose Park Elementary.
And we're life skills teachers, and I believe this is the first year they've given grants for special education specifically.
Awesome. Fantastic.
And we were able to get a small grant. It's for, it's called a Tony box. It's a box that is soft-sided, and then you take figurines and you put it on top, and it can play fiction or nonfiction stories. It can sing songs. There's one that does yoga. Just trying to get our kids engaged. The thing I really like about it is that it's able to use very easily, so children with physical disabilities are able to use it. It's not a play button or anything. They just tilt it back and forth. They put the little piece on. It's very engaging, very exciting to get the grant for our life skills class.
That's awesome.
So it's awesome. She may mention that, and we received a few different grants for special ed, which we obviously really appreciate the Golden Apple Foundation being willing to really kind of explore and make those available for our staff in the community in special ed. And their grant was donated from the Blazer Foundation. So kudos and thanks to the Blazer Foundation. So And then last, I have Ingrid Hyde here from Chesney, one of our art teachers. Talk about her here.
All right, so I have a project that's been percolating for a while in my head, and it's just trying to find the right time and the funds to make this happen. So I have been collecting things over the years, but the Golden Apple Grant helped me kind of push me over the edge. And we are making a collaborative mural, mosaic mural for the front area of the school that's supposed to be a little bit more inclusive, to include both our OLA program and our regular fine arts students, in a way of just saying welcome to our school in a beautiful artistic way using mosaics. And we're going to push forward with that, and hopefully it'll be done by the end of the year.
Mosaics are known to be quick.
And so the $450 grant that she received was from Sam's Club.
Awesome.
Kudos to them as well. And so while they're still standing here, I'm going to make them just stay up here for a little bit longer. I do want to quickly just read through the other ones that we had. Again, it was over $17,000 that we received to just highlight our staff, because they have to apply for it, and it takes time to do that. And so we appreciate these staff members and these that I'll read about, just going above and beyond to make these things available, and taking the time to apply and to do all the work necessary to secure these grants. And so I have a picture up here. So this is from Chris Noble. He was supposed to be here tonight, but was unable last minute to attend, and so he sent me these photos. He received a $2,500 STEM grant from Collins Aerospace for Waste Less, Inject More, for students in manufacturing classes in the Capstone Engineering Design and Development course, to design and 3D print high-temperature polymers that can be used with plastic injection molding, and to construct and test polymers as needed. Plastics waste created can be given new life, filling student-created molds. So there's some pictures. They are in the process. I think today they were going to hopefully have them all set up, but this just shows you. He said that the kids are super excited. They're unboxing the stuff that they received on Friday already, and so they were right after it trying to get it all set up. But again, thank you to Collins Aerospace for that.
What grade was that, Jason?
It's high school. It's high school, but I'm not sure what grade those classes.
Junior, senior for Capstone?
Nate Green from middle school received a $2,500 special education grant from the Blazer Foundation for adaptive PE equipment. Adaptive equipment for students with disabilities will allow them to participate and progress in physical education classes. A wheelchair swing platform, wheelchair soccer pad, and then some reusable adult swim diapers. Jody Graber from Parker Center received $2,500 special education grant from the Blazer Foundation for enhancing early childhood special education through sensory play, so that 80 students with special needs can explore texture, sound, and movement through sensory materials. Jennifer Bell from Harlem Middle School received a $450 STEM grant from Collins Aerospace for a STEM-based project, Engineers Without Borders, related to researching renewable energy sources and understanding energy transformation and efficiency. Rohini Gupta from Harlem High School received a STEM grant from Collins Aerospace for digital camera, microphone, and headphones. Jessica Loy from Harlem Middle School received a $439 grant from Collins Aerospace for calculators, headphones, scissors, and math games. There's more. Jenny Moss from Olson Park received a $338 literacy grant from Meg and Rob Hodge for books to enhance the digital citizenship unit in the library. Brittany Carr from Harlem Middle School received a $216 literacy grant from Meg and Rob Hodge for subscription for interactive learning platform quizzes. Kaylin Hill from Ralston received a $450 special education grant for standing desks. John Polemicus from Harlem High School received a $110 special education grant from the Blazer Foundation to access premium version of Natural Readers to embed MP3 files into assignments, giving students read aloud accessibility.
Cool.
Cheryl Zarn from Harlem Middle School received a $120 special education grant for Screencastify subscription to create read alouds for students with special needs. Mary Hunter from Parker Center received $377 from the Blazer Foundation for an Apple iPad case and gift cards for apps to enhance learning opportunities for special ed students. Allison Reimer, who is also one of our finalists for the Golden Apple, received $450 special education grant from the Blazer Foundation for snow fort building blocks, obstacle course, balancing stilts, wobble desk, and climbing dome for students with special needs during gross motor time. And that's it. So, pretty exciting. Obviously, a big kudos to Golden Apple Foundation for the work that they do to secure these grants for all these individuals that we, or organizations, companies, and foundations that we mentioned for their commitment to our community, as well as to our teachers, both here and on the list, for the work that they did securing these grants. We really appreciate the experiences you provide our kids. So, thank you to you all.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
That's it.
Thank you, sir. Yep. At this time, there are no comments from the community. Moving on to approval of the bills.
All right. The payables for this period were $453,240.34. There was one payroll this period in the amount of $3,506,678.01. The total expenditures of $3,959,918.35. Split out by fund, the education fund paid $3,480,176.74. The operations and maintenance fund paid $173,765.74. The transportation fund paid $181,798.09. The IMRF Social Security Fund paid $122,735.24. And the Capital Projects Fund paid $1,442.54. Again, for total expenditures of $3,959,918.35. There are no. Is that not the smallest capital project we've seen in a while?
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to say, like, usually there's at least another number in front of the comma.
Nope.
That's small. Am I wrong? I mean, I'm happy with that number.
That's it for me.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the bills?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
All right.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
All right, going on to communications and committee reports. First off, I want to thank Ms. Poole. Tammy, thank you as always, bringing those great kiddos in. I guess they're the ones to beat, and the teacher's the one to beat, huh? It's always good to see that, especially the consistency. And just to, when they finish the pledge, to just go into the motto and just feel them say it when it is a better place for them to be. So because of them, thank you. Got to give it up to our teachers that went above and beyond, all the staff. 17,000. They had to go above and beyond to fill those things out, beat other people out to get those things just for their kids, to go above and beyond. So like that is commendable, and I'm glad that you are highlighting it. Thank you, Jason. The more we can highlight our teachers and staff, the better. That's what makes this happen. I mean, you guys and them, we're just in the way.
Well.
Hey.
Maybe not a banner for that one.
Yeah, we won't do a banner for that one.
But sometimes we're supposed to be. That's the thing. Going over this new year, it's been cold. We had one day, so we're gonna be adding one day to the school year, right? So what's the new day? Is it
30th.
The 30th?
Or 29th.
29.
29. Yeah, we're not into June yet.
Ask any teacher, they'll know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will be asking the board, before we get to the end, if we can go into closed session to discuss some negotiations. So at that time, I'll be asking for it. And with that, I will cede my time to
Next board meeting?
Yeah.
next regular board meeting. Will be February 10th here at 6 p.m. And with that, I turn it over to Mr. McKnight.
So, Ms. Poole, that was awesome. I wish we could have seen all of them, but I'm glad they decided to stay home. That went through my house, and I stayed home from the committee of the whole meeting because I'm like, do I get it? Do I have it? Do I not have it? Because then you start thinking you're sick when you got somebody in your house. And so I get it. So I kind of stood back. But yes, thank you. I love it. I mean, you got to get one of them other classes to come get them. Like, you know, we don't need a dynasty, right? Maybe we keep a dynasty over there.
They're trying, they're spies.
I know they're trying to, yeah. I mean, maybe they should call their classroom the dynasty now. And yeah, I always want to, you know, for our teachers, I'm kind of echoing Mike, you know, because we had a board meeting 2 weeks ago and we said a lot of stuff. But, you know, the more, obviously sitting up here, we hear about a lot of the great things that are going on in our district. And I keep talking about, like, we need to talk about the good things that are going on in our district. And for teachers to go above and beyond to go for these grants, I mean, it's really easy to send an email to Josh over there, but it's not easy for Josh to respond with a no. So, no, I'm just kidding, but sometimes, right? But for them to go and search these grants for what they're actually looking to accomplish and for coming up and finding these grants, like, I'm not a teacher, I don't follow that, but as a 5th grader programming a little robot to maybe play soccer, like that would have been engaging for me instead of, you know, writing on a chalkboard. Yeah, it was still a chalkboard, you know, a formula on something. So I want to thank our teachers for doing that. You know, we don't educate without you, and I appreciate y'all. And like I said, you know, we need to just keep. It's a new year, and I said it at the end of last year, like, our district is being noticed for positive things, but we just need to keep talking about it because, you know, there's always that thing. If you're not talking about it, my former life, I was in marketing, and if you're not telling people that you're still open, people just stop showing up. So we need to keep talking about that and keep moving forward. And you know, if anybody has anything that they want me to mention in the next board meeting that's positive, send me an email, please, please, please. I love seeing it. Lately, we've been getting some negative emails. I'd like to see a few more positive ones. So please send it. I'll get it to the right people. We'll shout it from the rooftops. So, and then I will shut up and. Can I pass it, or do you want to pass it?
Just waiting for you to say when you're done. All right. Good night, Carlson.
Thank you. I don't have a whole lot, excuse me, tonight. These Maple kids, I don't, what are the Maple? What is their?
Mustangs.
That's why they have Mustangs in their room. They're not cars.
They said that, and I was kind of sitting here going, wait a minute.
They're up in GTs up there.
And I appreciate it. Now, she was telling me that they take turns carrying around this award, this trophy. How does that, what does that weigh? I mean, is that just some little, it looks like it's a heavy-duty metal trophy that they can bonk somebody on the head with, that they would enjoy keeping.
Super heavy, it's just from Target.
It just,
Not too heavy.
well, it just really looks like it's worth something to be carrying that thing around school. It was so neat. And the energy, I love the energy that they stood here and they just, we're going to say it and we're going to do the model. And man, they were all together. That was really cool. So I like Aaron was saying with a lot of the emails, it's great to have good ones. We need the bad ones because we need to know what's going on in the district, and so we need to keep up with all of these things that are going on. It's been interesting with the school days off. I know when the phone call comes to me, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I don't have any kids. So you just enjoy the fact that you don't have to worry about the buses going by in the morning. So it's kind of neat. But I'm sure we're going to make up the year and have a great year. And things will be going good, and like I say, there's just not much else. Things are good.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to the Maple Mustangs. We appreciate them coming. I appreciate you that you are very selective in who you bring. It really adds something to it, so thank you very much. And I also have to say, thank you to all the teachers who go above and beyond to apply for these grants, but I'd especially like to thank the members of the community who make those grants possible. And that's a big deal, that in this community, the greater McChesney Park area, that there are so many people that are committed to our schools and our students to ensure that the future is a good future. So thank you very much to everybody who made those grants possible and the teachers who take advantage of those grants. It's wonderful. And I'm sorry that we had a cold day. and I understand the reason for the cold days. It isn't safe for some students to be outside waiting for the bus, or you don't want to set yourself up for anybody to get hurt. I'd really like to see the use of the remote learning devices so that students can be engaged with school on those days, and not just so that we don't have to add on days at the end of the year, because I could really care less. I'm not a teacher, I guess, or a kid. But it is a day that students were planning on and teachers were planning on being in the classrooms and doing what they do during the school year. It would be really nice if we could get to that point where the use of technology would continue to engage students on those days that just come up out of the blue. So I'd also like to wish everybody, because we're moving into this holiday week, I want to wish everybody a very wonderful Groundhog's Day. Please enjoy the holiday, and back to you, Mr. Sterling.
Thank you, sir. Megan Hastings.
All right. Ms. Poole and the teacher, I'm so sorry, I missed her name. What's your teacher's name?
Mrs. Core.
Ms. Core, thank you. Fantastic. The educators as a whole, all the educators that went out for grants, I think I've screamed pretty loudly about how incredible Harlem's educators are, and I think we continuously see those. One thing I'm really grateful for is I knew a lot of names on that list. I've gotten to have conversations, and I've gotten to just have a little bit of a peek inside how incredible this district is. To play off of Mr. Smith's comment, you know, the companies like Collins and Individual, shout out to the Hodges for loving literacy, life goals, to be able to donate just piles of money for books. But to have organizations who know how important early education is, the earlier the better, and to have those opportunities and then have teachers that go after them is just absolutely incredible. I don't know if, well, there are some people in the room have written grants. It's not easy. I always say that you want to start an organization, you need somebody really good at marketing and then another person really good at grant writing. You can get anything done if you can write a grant. So just thank you for our educators that continue to, just like Mr. Sterling said, just do way more. That being said, I have to shout out one of the Hastings favorite teachers. Miss Rosella was honored by 97 ZOK this week. She's nominated by a parent, which I think is super cool as well. The story was super awesome, worth hunting down and reading if you're interested. Miss Rosella means a lot to the Hastings. She had both of our girls, and I wouldn't be where I was with the district if it weren't for her, nor would my girls. So big shout out to Miss Frizella. She is at Loves Park.
All right.
All right. Harlem Horizon launched. That is super cool. If you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, I absolutely adored journalism in high school. It was probably my favorite thing, and it was really cool because the best thing about it, I think, that I took out of it was that we were all super different. So, you know, you put a room full of teenagers talking about hard-hitting issues, all from different backgrounds. There were some really amazing conversations, friendships that formed that I don't think would have formed outside of that room. And we still see each other around town and laugh about, you know, the hard-hitting, you know, Halloween issue we did, or, you know, that one time that basketball went to state. So it was really cool to read through the Harlem Horizon and read all of the kids' work and how diverse the work was. It was awesome. So congrats. And another thank you to the teacher and students, again, that made that possible. Alumni. As most of you know, I'm in logistics. So in logistics, you get to network a lot. And I just happened to network this week with a Harlem alum. So Sam graduated in 2017. He has built himself just an incredible fulfillment business here in the parks. He started in his parents' basement. Now he has a full-fledged facility and staff. Probably the coolest warehouse I've ever seen, and that's a true logistics nerd comment right there. It was like something you saw on like a YouTube channel or something like that. It is incredible. He's kind, looking to give back to the community. I connected him with our CTE folks, hoping for some internship connections, but just an awesome person and really proud to have him as a graduate. So shout out Sam, you're doing incredible, and I hope you just grow bigger and bigger. The last thing I kind of wanted to comment on is I'm really proud that Harlem put out a statement on immigration. Some of the problems that our students and teachers and families are facing, I can't even fathom. I think about their I think about the invisible backpacks a lot, and what they carry and what we don't even see, and how heavy those backpacks are getting, and how so much of that weight is safety. And I'm not saying Harlem is not safe. This is a much bigger problem than Harlem, one that we can't solve by ourselves. I just really appreciate our district taking the steps when we can to support our students and family. So it meant a lot for me to see that. Jason and Terrell, whoever put that out, just thank you for recognizing that they're safe here. It's important. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
We got the Education Committee.
Oh, Education Committee. February 5th at 4:30. Thank you, Kurt and Chris, for the reminder.
With that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Thompson.
Sure. Like being lower on the list. Great seeing all the kids come in and do the pledge. Might be my favorite part of most of these meetings. Sorry, Josh.
This part's coming up.
Of course. I can't say enough about everything that the Golden Apple does and the support that our community has for our students and our district. And I love the fact of being able to shine a light on that, because it's not easy, right? You teach all day, you're tired, you've got your family, and you go home and you're like, you know what I need to do? Write a grant. but they do, and it's something they're excited about, or opening up new categories. And we had, I've lost count, 4, 5 for getting these unique tools to help their students, and we were all over that. So again, thanks for the teachers for putting in the effort to making sure that their students have what they need. Thanks for the community for giving back in such unique and creative ways. The Golden Apple for putting it all together, making this work. All the competitions. Allison's got, I think the interview's done, right? So hopefully find out some good news in the short term here for Golden Apple. So great night, great everything there. What has not been touched that I still need to hit here? Freshman transition night is tomorrow. And if you've got a student that's doing that, I don't know, is this where you find out the age that they still keep getting older quicker and quicker? I told them to stop, but they don't listen, so it's going to be exciting personally for me, and also that's all the other parents that are going through that as well. It's soon and it's now, so excited for that part. Bus schedules, man, I appreciate all of the feedback. I love getting good feedback, negative feedback, knowing that it's still an issue, and now the hard work for the administration, staff, and us to see what can be done, what out there. I can tell you, no matter what happens, there is no great answer. There is no magic bullet for this one, but I know we've got the right team to make it the best that it can be, to get the answers that we need to get to that conclusion. Yeah, outside of that, no one mentioned we've got dance going to state, boys bowling going to state, they're conference champs. Ben is the individual champ. Dale, I apologize in advance. I'm one of the worst persons with names, but congratulations to that. Does anyone have a better bowling team? I don't think so.
No.
Like, ever? Like, I don't want to like curse anyone. But seriously, like, we are thank you. We are absolutely amazing. And it's better be. It doesn't matter. Our team is that good. Now I really jinx myself. Anyways, just wanted to call out their accomplishments, seeing the accomplishments of everyone again. And with that being said, we have the Business Services Committee meeting. It's going to be at the Committee of the Whole, and that will be February 5th, right here at 4:30. And with that, turn it back.
Thank you, sir. Evelyn Meeks.
All right. Good
It's
evening,
easy going
everyone. Huh?
It's easy going last.
Oh, yeah, but everything's gone, so you gotta think. But I want to say, good evening, everyone, and please excuse me with whenever I do the roll call, and I'm so used to this list, I panic and I look at everybody and they're all become like a blur, and I'm like, but I know everybody, but when I have to say it during roll call and I don't have that help, I go blank. But I just want to piggyback off everybody and say thank you, Mrs. Poole. You are a wonderful lady. Thank you for all that you're doing at your school. You are truly a blessing, and we appreciate all you do. And those kids are wonderful, so thank you. Then I also want to say thank you to and congratulations to all our recipients of the, especially doing grants and going above and beyond to try to get activities for your students that can help them with education. That's wonderful, because this grant work is really hard, and when you put all that time in and you go above and beyond to try to do it, thank you so much. And every year we seem to be able to win a couple of grants, but this year I think it was more. So thank you all. I didn't want to say any names because I didn't want to leave anybody out, but I just put you all in a group. Thank you. And for those that weren't able to come, thank you too. And then also, I wanted to say my granddaughter, she's a coach. Well, she grew up in Harlem from kindergarten, preschool, all the way up until 9th grade. Her mom moved to San Diego, California. She liked it, but she missed Harlem. So when she graduated last year from San Bernardino Rancho in San Diego, she came back here. She had a scholarship to Arizona State, and she comes here, and she doesn't want to go back. So now she's at Rock Valley, and she's coaching, I think, 3 teams. But her team won, her junior Huskies. They won the championship. They lost 1 game by 1 point. But I just want to say thank you, Amaya, and I'm glad you're home. But I was kind of upset that you didn't go to Arizona State, but your heart is here, so we welcome you back into this district. So it's nice whenever people leave and they come back and they just want to stick with Harlem. So I just say thank you to all of everybody that leaves and still come back to this district. So we're doing something good. Although you might have negativity, always remember we're still doing good and we're still doing the best we can to succeed, and we will succeed. So as I end this, we're in 27 days of January. We will keep moving forward and striving on doing the best we can, regardless of the naysayers and the negativity. One thing about us, we keep our foot standing straight, and regardless how people can hurt us with their words or what they say about us, the negativity, you don't know what we go through until you start working in this district. You don't know what the teachers, the staff, administrators go through until you start working to see what they do. So until you criticize people, you should come and work a day with them or just ask them what they do instead of reading what you read on social media. Everybody goes above and beyond, and we try to do our best. So I just say keep doing the best, and thank you to the community, and thank everybody. You are greatly appreciated. Our next meeting, Equity and Social Justice meeting, will be February the 5th here with the community as a whole. And again, I might have left off something, but thank you, everybody. That's it.
I forgot one thing. What about Terrell? Calling the cold day? Like first? Was it the first one?
Yeah.
No, there was like 900.
Made a liar out of me. I was like, oh, we're not going to do anything until Rockford. And then Harlem comes out. I was like, oh.
No, we followed Durant, South Beloit.
No, I know. We had a path. But yeah, my girls were like, that was
I
wrong.
was like, would it be
Versus the Luna district.
Yeah.
Yes, all online going, would it be nice if someone called it early so we ready? 5 minutes later.
I know, it could have been
There
an
was.
hour earlier, but somebody was at a basketball.
I saw a lot of excitement on social media for the early call. I did.
Mike,
Maybe an hour and a half earlier.
But I wasn't home at the time.
I did.
And I've officially
One
been
second,
relevant,
guys.
but congratulations. There we go.
oh, by the way, as I stated before, if we all take time to just talk to each other, our differences can all come together and help make change.
Yes.
So I'm sorry I keep saying that. That's what I believe in my heart. If we just take time to agree, we can make this district a better district, because we're already at the top. We can continue to be at the top and let everybody try to implement us. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we're a community.
Gosh, I say that word a lot.
It's true.
I was so excited to see the grants for special ed. There were so many special ed grants, and that is amazing.
We grabbed those first year.
We were on it. Come on, yeah.
Special ed.
That was incredible.
That was amazing. And I want to the Golden Apple with the 5th grade at Olson Park. I want to see the soccer team. I want to see the soccer mat. I want to see the robots. I want them in here, and I want Jason. I want to see the soccer team.
If it works.
Yeah.
Don't make anybody embarrassed, please.
Robot Pledge of Allegiance coming in.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah, I have nothing to see.
All right.
I didn't know if you wanted to add that.
That's shocking.
Josh?
All right, I have 2 hopefully quick items today. So my first item is a recommendation to approve a resolution declaring surplus property at Windsor, Marquette, and Harlan High School. I have 1 facility request that is for AP testing in May. If there's no questions, that's my report.
Dr. Wagner?
Thank you, Mr. Spiller. This evening, I also have a brief, short personnel agenda, no addendum. We have 1 transfer this evening, 2 employments, 1 Federation Bank request, and 4 resignations.
Okay, thank you. And with that, Dr. Yerbo.
All right, while Jason queues up the Promethean board real quick, I have 1 FOIA request submitted by Illinois Retired Teachers Association on January 15, 2025, requesting information on 2025 retirees, and the district response dated January 18, 2025. Full responsive information included, and I will say if there's some retirees that are listening today, if you ever want to come back and sub, you're always welcome. So let's just, hey, put it out there.
That was a fantastic plug.
Yeah. All right. So, as promised, the last board meeting, we absolutely love to shine a light on things that are going on in our buildings. In this case specifically, our Equity and Social Justice Committee meetings at our Committee of the Whole. Anyone from the community is always welcome to join us at Committee of the Whole to see, our presentations and our building presentations in their entirety. But we wanted to at least summarize some of the work that we're doing in ESJ. And as you recall, the last time we did this, the PowerPoint slides kept going really fast. But Jason slowed them down this time. So we will say that our last theme was awareness, and I want to give a shout out to Gloria, assistant principal at Rock Cut, who did a phenomenal job in presenting awareness to us at the Committee of the Whole meeting. And with awareness, we talked about biases and how they affect teachers' perceptions, specifically when we talk about explicit bias, confirmation bias, and then the impact on learning. And so what I want to point out, with that is when teachers' awareness is clouded by bias, they may misinterpret student behavior or performance, leading to unfair treatment or missed opportunities to support our students' potential. Okay. Then the next piece we wanted to highlight is the intention-action gap, the space between a teacher's goals, intention, and what they actually do in practice, which is action. Our teachers may set positive goals for their students, but struggle to execute them if bias influences their daily interactions. And then finally, teachers need to practice self-awareness and challenge their biases by being mindful of how they allocate time, attention, and resources in the classroom. And I do have to say, though, that our teachers, because we've been working with our equity work for at least a decade now, do a phenomenal job, when it comes to biases and reflection and talking with each other. So I needed to point that out. And then final thoughts with biases. While biases are a natural part of being human, teachers have a responsibility to confront and mitigate these biases to ensure every student has an equal opportunity to succeed. By doing so, teachers can create an environment where all students can thrive, which is, again, what we're really proud of here at Harlem School District and what we do, and how, in my opinion, and my biases, we're the best district in the area. That's just me. But also in creating environments where our students really feel supported and a sense of belonging. So really appreciate that.
And we've
So thank
talked,
you.
and we didn't mention this at the meeting, but if you've been to COTW or ESJ meetings in the past, we've talked a lot about bias and just estimates of student achievement and how people, our staff view kids and their estimates of achievement and the impact that that has. And I've always liked to share like the meta-research, the meta-analysis of John Hattie, and one of the greatest impacts on student achievement is, based on research, is teachers' beliefs of achievement. And so this hand in hand is so important, recognizing, like Terrell said, that reflection piece and really examining these biases and how they show up. I'm really proud of the work that we've been doing for the last over
a decade.
14.
Yeah. 13 years. Long time. And also, too, we want to highlight some of the work that our building equity teams are doing. So this particular one is from Parker Center. At Parker Center, we prioritize inclusive play by selecting materials and toys that reflect the diverse cultures, abilities, and identities of our students. This ensures every child feels seen and valued in our community. Parker Center is definitely great in doing that.
I think sorry.
Go ahead. Plug it in.
One of the things that I've noticed too from this work, especially at Parker Center, like we talked about the Golden Apple and their efforts to focus on supporting our special education teachers, but we've noticed recently, like with the United Way Rock River Valley, who does a lot of support with books and stuff like that. I think maybe we've mentioned this before, but just because of the work that we've been doing and the focus and effort on language and the language is spoken at Parker Center and other schools, they've really made it a committed effort to making sure that we have books in the language that are spoken by our students and their families. And so this is spreading beyond just our classrooms, and so a lot of our community organizations are seeing the importance of this and through us, and so we're starting to see support from them in making sure that this is happening. So kudos to those organizations that are stepping up as well.
Absolutely, because at last count, we have 44 languages, I think not counting English, in the Harlan School District, so that's phenomenal. Olsen Park, this one was a favorite of mine. Actually, this is a museum, where, like a wax museum, where the students obviously did a lot of work in researching the individual that they're representing, and you would have a conversation with them about the person that they chose, and so I think that's phenomenal to do. So as you can see, I think it's Helen Keller, Rosa Parks, JFK, and I can't see the other two over there.
Everly was Martin Luther King Jr.
All right, okay.
And then Leonardo da Vinci.
All right.
It was super fun. Super fun. It was really fun.
Next time, I need an invite to that one.
Sorry.
At Marquette, staff took time to find ways to incorporate student culture into their teaching to become more culturally responsive. So for first grade, it was the Italian culture, second grade, Mexican culture, and third grade, Polish culture. Phenomenal work there. And then at Loves Park, what I want to specifically highlight, and of course there's different works, across, obviously our world, but specifically the music notes, where, kind of piggybacking off a little bit of what you said, Megan, and what you said, Mrs. Meeks, that, being together, and supporting each other, I think is so very important, and calling out that even though, we may be different notes, when we come together, we all make beautiful music together, and so I really think that's important. And so obviously a lot of our schools are doing a ton of great work within our ESJ committee, but we can only highlight a few at a time, and we'll get the other ones next time. So thank you.
I do want to give you and Jason a shout out. I don't know how the other board members feel, but I really love the pivot and seeing how they implement it. The lessons were awesome. I learned a lot. I grew a lot, but seeing it, IRL at the schools is really cool.
I love sharing to these meetings too, just again, there's so much that goes on.
Get it out there.
That, unless you're at the committee of the whole meeting, we get to share more of it.
Makes you come to the committee of the whole.
That too.
And then in my report.
All right, thank you, sir. Can I get a motion to approve the personal agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
There are no student trails, so can I get a motion to approve facility request?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Hasty?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion and a second to approve resolution declaring surplus property?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Aye.
Are there any more announcements and discussions from the board members? I have one question. I would like to get permission to ask our HAC team to get information. This is per board agreements that what I would be requesting would be over 30 minutes in length. So just to see if I can get a consensus on, I would like to get 5 years data on where our students come from that are in our, and what I mean by come from, I'm talking about elementary, that are in our advanced classes in the high school.
Like the different schools that come from?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically taking students at high school that
That are
were in
in
advanced
advanced
placement and just basically what their homes, whatever their elementary school was?
Yes. I just would like to see the last 5 years.
And are we just talking AP or are we talking honors or dual credit? Like, I just like to know what.
No, that's
what
why,
the request is.
thank you, but yes, I would say advanced placement honors, just to see where the majority are coming from, just to have more information. With that, I get consensus on just that, being able to ask that.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we have a ballpark of?
Time frame that would take?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because if it's going to take a while, I mean, there's no rush for this, so this can be done.
Yeah. Hours, days, weeks, months?
No.
One of those.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in estimation
Like,
for a
would you-
living.
yeah,
It's going to be the wrong one.
How
but-
long do you think it would take?
I don't know that there's going to be an easy way to pull the paths because the paths end up changing when they go into like the advanced learner program. So I'll have to look up every child individually and see where their elementary went. So it's going to take me a
Can
while.
we scope that back? Is there a key thing that you're trying to get to see at the high school level? So it's probably easier to find records of where they were in elementary. Do we just want to see, what in high school are we just looking to see?
Just looking to see where our students are coming from in that scheme.
So could you say like, in this list of courses, if they were in, just grade school or?
Just grade school.
If I understand correctly, like basically any higher placement in the high school, AP honors, dual credit, what elementary school they started, yeah.
Or finish.
Finished from, yeah.
Because something like that, we just ask the students in their classes, maybe?
Well, not 5 years data's worth.
No,
Because
obviously
they're
not
already
5
out of
years,
high
but like
school.
the guys, the kids that are in AP in those classes now, they could probably just write down, where did I come from grade school, or, I mean, that's 1 year done.
Well, but it's in the system. you know.
Right.
I would need to pull all those classes, so
Okay.
It's gonna be.
it's going to take a while.
Okay.
Can we narrow the number of years maybe a little bit?
If we
Because
start-
We're talking, we're talking.
Right, because as soon as they go to middle school, when we have the
500-ish
honors
kids per
classes, that pool from like advanced learner expands quite a bit, and then we have a few that add.
Yeah, but I didn't ask for
to high
middle school. I just asked for high school. I was just trying to narrow it a
No,
little
no,
bit.
I agree, I'm just saying the pool gets a lot larger once you hit middle, and then it even gets larger, so it's not like we're talking the 20-some kids that are in ALP.
No, I know. That's why I had to ask for permission.
You want to take a consensus?
Can we do like a proof of concept? Can we take like?
3 years?
Well, even
I
current
think
12th
3 years would
grade?
show.
3 years.
I think 3 years would show.
Cut it into almost half.
It would show if we needed the other 2 years.
And if that's too much, let us know, right? Like,
We're just looking for something.
no.
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Oh,
can I get your yes or no for getting this information?
You want me to do it? I'll do it. Not a problem. I just walk in there with class and say, hey, where'd you go to elementary school?
I just need any consent.
I don't think you want Larry
consensus.
touching that.
Yes or no?
We have data.
That's fine with me.
They say 3 years, right?
3 years.
3 years. 3 years.
Thank you. Guys.
Could we start with AP and
Sure.
credit versus the honors? Because we have so many honors level classes.
It's just a little snapshot, so yes.
Thank you.
That's all. And with that, and no more announcements and discussion.
Unanimous consensus, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All in favor?
Can I get a first and a second to go into executive session to discuss negotiations 5 ILCS 120-2C2?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
All right.
5 minutes or?